Hey there, Tim and them. It's Jeff. I just wanted to jump in with a quick note. What you're about to hear is the first of a multi-part episode where the three of us rehash the entirety of the Mardi Gras season. What this means is that we sat together on Saturday night and got pretty drunk and recorded something like 3.5 or 4 hours of material. So I've gone ahead and broken it into bite-sized pieces for you because, you know, we care about you. So this is the first part of it. It basically goes from Krewe Du Vieux up to the end of the first weekend, and then we kind of end on a little discussion about the Krewe of Chad. And it ends kind of abruptly, but it the next episode should pick up pretty quickly with what happens after that. So anyway, just enjoy, and I'll go ahead and turn it over now to the mayor.
Nothing. I just want to thank our chief and our law enforcement personnel. All the witnesses indicated the police were on it immediately. When we canvassed the area, a lot of people cooperated with us that brought us to the Port-O-Let. It's just one of those things where we've told people over and over again, you bring a firearm, it's highly unlikely that there's going to be a discharge of this nature. And as the chief said, we don't really know what all the facts are yet, but it looks like someone was in the Port-O-Let and was handling a firearm and discharged, and it went through the Port-O-Let and injured this individual who was standing some 20 to 30 feet away. So we're going to continue to be very aggressive. We need the help. If people saw anybody come out of the Port-O-Let, we talked to people who heard the shot right before the Port-O-Let. It's really important. But the message has got to go back out. Don't bring a firearm to the parade. You're going to get hurt. Somebody else is going to get hurt. But the first responders here did a great job, and our EMS guys got this gentleman to the hospital immediately. And so we'll continue to investigation, and we'll hope that we find the person who did it.
Let's say hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down, y'all.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hey everybody, it's us again. It's me, Jeff, and this is Lance.
Reverend Varg Vargas at Varg Vargas at Dirty Boys, Levyland.com, dirtyboys.com, lancevargas.com, asunderpress.com, thechickery.com.
Man of many titles. And our friend Alli.
Hello.
Hi.
That's all I got. Just hello. Happy Lent.
You are in Lenten energy form right now. You're just very...
I'll perk up. I did Mardi Gras very hard, as we are going to discuss. So
you're still literally wiped out from Mardi Gras right now?
Oh, yeah.
Like the next Saturday?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I don't think that's unusual. I think a lot of people are in multi-day recovery mode.
Okay.
My barista at CC's was in recovery mode on yesterday.
Well,
and also the bartender at Parkway.
It's a pretty good excuse not to have shit done for like a while. Like that's been the last couple of days at work for me. Like I'm still in this mode where I'm answering emails like a couple days late and going, oh yeah, Mardi Gras. So I can do that. Can I get away with that for like another week, or can I get like I don't know how much time I can get away with that. Probably Monday.
I think you got to be back on your game by Monday.
Okay.
I ran into a car on Saturday.
Okay.
But I did take a chick's side mirror out in the parking lot of the thrift store on Saturday, and I finally called my insurance company yesterday about it. That is definitely because of Mardi Gras.
I thought I was ahead of the game, I guess, Wednesday, because I got home and cleaned up all the beads and shit on the ground, because we have like this pile of beads that just grows as the season goes on.
Inside?
And they just like gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's like looking at you.
The smell doesn't get to you? They smell toxic.
They are.
The kids chew on them. They end up like people who have lived here their whole life. You got to look at people who've lived here their whole life and be like, that's from chewing on them Mardi Gras beads, the way they look and act.
Lead paint, delicious but deadly.
That's why this place is like it is.
Probably so.
Well, this old lady on WYES said that the houses in New Orleans are sinking because of all the beads in the attic. So
on that Peggy Scott Laborde show,
it
right?
Is,
yeah,
the houses in New Orleans. Oh man,
we all know it's from that Mardi Gras Memories one that they air right before the Rex Comas fall. We all know. They aired Chappie Goes to Mardi Gras at 3 o'clock. And this year I wasn't home by 3, so I missed it.
Oh, no.
I missed Chappie.
That is a fine Mardi Gras tradition, the YES marathon. Since I've not had cable, though, I don't know where to find it. I can't find it on Rabbit Ears. So what I've been watching, what I watched instead of it was what was available on Amazon Prime, and those were some fucked up movies. But there was one called French Quarter that was about this this girl from the bayou whose daddy dies, so she moves to New Orleans and then becomes a topless dancer in like 10 minutes after not getting jobs, shucking oysters and making pralines. And then she ends up in a voodoo seance, and they take her back to, she transfers back in time to Storyville and becomes a prostitute.
This
there.
was the one with Becky Allen,
And
right?
Becky Allen was in it. Like, I saw her and was like, holy shit, that's a young Becky Allen. And then Ben Jaffe's dad was in it, I guess, the senior Jaffe.
Okay.
And then I watched another one that was like a modern movie that was made after Katrina. Clearly somebody who had just been given some money to make a movie after Katrina. It was lame as hell, even though I had it on mute. I think maybe if the screenplay changed this movie that much, it would have been a miracle. But then Ben Jaffe Jr. had done the soundtrack for that or was in that. So I was like, oh, wow, there's a connection between these two very bad New Orleans movies.
So this is stuff that you were watching on Mardi Gras Day, or was it like just in
throughout
the
Mardi Gras
downtime?
in lieu, because I don't have cable, so I don't have YES, and I don't know how to find it.
WYS is not on cable.
You can't find Channel 12 on Rabbit Ears?
No, because when you plug those fuckers in, all kinds of little options come up, and I get confused and frustrated. And I say, "Fuck it, I'm watching I'll see what's on Amazon."
It'll tell me what to watch.
Well, it always goes searching for channels.
Oh, okay.
And then it does these different things, and every TV's different. And then fuck it.
Yeah, all right.
I don't even know if it's available on Rabbit Ears. Is it?
It is.
I think you can also stream it on their website. It's public television.
A lot of their content is available on YouTube. That's where I often get my informed sources and or stepping out. It comes directly to my phone via YouTube alert.
I'm learning some shit.
There you go. You're living in a time of magic, man.
I just assume even though all these things are capable, no one's doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as it relates to public television.
Okay, well, we'll cover this later, I think.
All right. So we're going to go chronologically.
Yeah, we were going to go chronologically through the Mardi Gras season.
Everybody had a good Mardi Gras from what I understand. Nobody's was shitty except for one person's that I know.
Well, that's debatable. It depends on what you mean. Like, so
mine wasn't.
Yours was great.
Yes.
And yours was great.
Yeah, mine was great.
And my observation afterward, after Mardi Gras, everybody gets on Facebook and posts their little thing about what they thought about it. Most people had a good Mardi Gras, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was just, oh, this was fun. I wish it was still going on. There was a lot of that kind of thing. So that was good to hear. Although, like, while we were in the thick of it, there were a lot of, like, things going on. Every day you read about there was a shooting or a stabbing down the street. There was the thing where a Port-O-Let shot somebody. There was a thing
at a toilet themed parade.
Right, at the toilet parade, the toilet shot somebody.
What was the toilet theme parade?
Tux.
And their theme was in the shitter or something like that?
Have you ever seen a Tux parade?
No.
Tux,
they take all Saturday off.
Tux, half their theme is toilet stuff. Like, they have like
every year?
Yes, they have a toilet float that like is kind of the king's throne. They throw toilet paper as streamers. Like, if you go down St. Charles,
I saw some of those in the trees.
That's every year after Tux.
They do toilet seat sunglasses as a novelty item.
They throw plungers. So just for context,
that is hilarious.
This was going down the street
somebody at
in
the
the toilet
parade. Right. And nobody's ever figured out what happened there.
Didn't he get shot by his own gun?
No, he went out of the toilet and hit somebody, I thought.
Yeah, that's what happened. The guy
obviously slowed by the heavy-duty plastic, I'm sure.
A guy was mishandling a gun in the toilet, and the bullet went through the wall and shot somebody nearby.
Okay.
So the toilets are shooting you.
So it was a poopy bullet, too. You go septic from that. Oh, God. Just, if I get shot by a toilet, just kill me so that the toilet won't kill me.
We'll keep that in mind.
Please. Thank you.
So what else happened? Oh, then a guy plowed in everybody in Endymion.
Wait, we're going to go through this all chronologically, though.
Jeff's still doing his overview remarks. His opening statement.
He did this to us before the show, and now he's doing it to Tim and them. So we're hearing this for the second time, Tim and them.
I was really just trying to sum up the year.
Really the third time if you read his original post about it.
Well, all right, fine.
Or the fourth time if you read the tweets in real time as well.
Yes, yeah. It's like a fractal. Just repeating pattern.
He's like a pastor who gives his sermon throughout the week at the dinner table and then in the bathroom mirror, and then by the time Saturday night rolls around, he's like, all right, I really got to fucking write this thing, and then Sunday morning it's like,
He's ready to go.
"Mwah!"
Yeah. Mini rehearsals. It's funny that okay. Well, man, maybe we should listen to him more. This is the most prime he's going to be.
He's gotten rid of all the extraneous verbs, and now it's just like
Succinct.
Yep.
Well, when you come in for the podcast version, you get to hear a lot of ums and likes inserted. So that's
I thought
helpful.
you take those out in post.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Take that one out in post.
Right.
Take that one out in post.
So, well, what were we talking about? Oh, so
we done fucked him up, Varg.
I know, huh? I'm going to have to do that more often.
Good work.
Take that out in post.
I was trying to introduce Tim and him to the concept. I was trying to get them in the mood to look back on this year's Mardi Gras, right? Where there were bad things that happened, but there were also good things that happened. And we were going to take them one at a time, or a day at a time, perhaps.
It's another one of those dichotomies of Mardi Gras things. We're not tired of those yet. Someone got shot on the parade route. In the midst of all the revelry. Things didn't go well for this poor guy who got shot. There's supposed to be so much pleasure, but some people end up getting their ass kicked or run over by cars. Oh, the dichotomy of Mardi Gras.
Something like that.
It just represents the totality of the human experience.
Well, let's revisit this throughout as we go through this chronologically, because I have tons of little things that went wrong.
Varg's got nugs to share.
Prevailed through.
Well, before we get to Varg's nugs, we should probably start with Krewe Du Vieux and your contribution, because you weren't here the last time we talked about Krewe Du Vieux.
That's correct.
And you are actually in the parade.
I was.
So we want to hear about that.
The 9th year. It was my
Jesus.
Yeah, this is my 9th year in Krewe Du Vieux. The weather was great. Everything was like set up for a really good parade. Leading up to it, what I wanted most out of it was for the current idiot in the White House to get so pissed off that during his morning shoving his like meatloaf poop out, that he was like, fuck this parade, man, and he like wanted to tweet at us about how mad he was.
Sad.
But I don't know that it was offensive enough to get on his radar. I don't think the president cares enough about Louisiana to pay attention to any of that. But
we have big hangers for him to hold his rally in, though. He should care a little bit.
You mean I come down, I do all that work, I came down, I used one of the biggest hangers, bigger, I don't know, maybe this one, was it this one? But it was a big hanger. Yeah, bigger.
Well, that would require him caring about something more than himself for 5 minutes in a row, which I don't think he can do.
Yeah, that is kind of a shame. I mean, you know, he just this morning he's tweeting about what wiretapping and stuff, and The Apprentice again.
Yeah.
So
back to back.
The odds are, if you go after him, you're going to get tweeted. So
right.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a fail there.
But I thought the floats were amazing. The costumes were great. There were a lot of great themes for the Timonum contingent who is maybe not as familiar with Krewe Du Vieux. It's really it's an umbrella organization made up of little sub crews, and they all pick their own theme and do their own stuff. And one of them, Crude, their theme was Crude is fucking magical, and they were all dressed up as unicorns with like these huge unicorn horns, and they were their float had like unicorns fucking on it with like rainbows and stuff, and it was amazing.
Hell yeah.
I thought it was the coolest float I'd ever seen. There were a lot of Trump floats, one of which was like Jabba the Trump, choking out the Statue of Liberty in a Leia bikini. There was...
Jeff thought all the Trump floats were lame and that they weren't nuanced enough, and therefore the parade sucked. And
that's not
the people
what
who
was
ran
said
it
at all.
Also. There, and even I had to get on his case about it and let him know that, hey, man, these are hardworking people who have to build these floats. Maybe they don't always just think about the concept.
Yep. I think that's, well...
Not your crew, though. My crew, they build theirs in like 4 or 5 hours like the day before.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they just roll up in there with some muffaladas.
Yep.
And put that shit together.
Is that really how it works?
Yeah, you can always tell it because it's got something spinning on it and a smoke machine.
It looked fantastic coming down the street.
Well, we had to rebuild our float completely a few years ago after there was a fire in the den, but it was good because it allowed us to build a platform on which we now just have to like do some tweaks every year, but we only do the float the day before, so that's why ours never really has like elaborate paper mache or anything like that.
I thought it looked good. I mean, I got a pretty good picture of it anyway, coming straight on us. And I think the smoke adds something to it. But it looked great.
Well, we've upped our game in the last couple of years, adding some things to the side or the smoke on the top and the lighting. LED lights, the like game changer.
Well, tell us about your costumes because y'all look amazing.
Yeah, our theme was the ruling crass, because the overall theme was the crass menagerie. So we did a play on the overall theme, which not everybody does. But we were the ruling crass, so we dressed up as like French aristocrats, and I loved our costumes. We all wore all white. For the men, we made like fancy pants, like knickerbockers and tuxedo jackets with like tails jackets, so they looked like colonists almost, out of Tyvek suits. And the women wore white corsets and hoop skirts without the skirt parts, like just the hoops.
Yeah.
And we all wore these wigs that were made to look like the hairstyles of the time, like the Marie Antoinette style wigs, but we made them out of paper. And so the overall effect was like between the Tyvek and the paper and the hoops was that like we were kind of like paper thin aristocrats, right? We weren't really like, it was just to give the illusion of aristocracy rather than like full on like cosplay or anything like that. So I thought it was kind of an interesting like pun on the whole theme anyway, because we were crass, like we were, it was the whole point was that like we weren't real about it. We were just being very fake about our credentials, I guess.
Right.
But y'all looked very nice as far as Mardi Gras costumes go.
Oh hell yeah, I thought we looked amazing, especially as a collective. You put us all together and we all had these huge wigs on, and just the overall effect looked so good. And so many of us re-wore our costumes for Mardi Gras Day, and I found a few of my crewmates out in the quarter, and that was great as well.
They were very elegant. There was a very kind of a degraded elegance to it, which is kind of what all Mardi Gras in New Orleans is. So it fit right in there.
But the route was good. The crowd was great. They weren't too pushy and shovey. I only got groped like 4 times, so that's pretty low for Krewe Du Vieux. So that was good. The ball was fun. Yeah, I mean, I had a wonderful time. It's always exhausting. Like that's why, and well, I'm sure we're gonna talk about first parade weekend, but that's why I usually skip first parade weekend because I need time to recover from Krewe Du Vieux, and
the same way you're still recovering now from the whole thing.
And then I jump back in for Nick's. So that's my strategy. Oh, but I did Chewbacchus, so never mind. We'll get to it.
Well, I guess we should go right into it.
Yeah, let's jump into Friday night.
Okay.
First weekend. Jeff went out on Friday night, right?
Oh, right. When it was raining and shit?
Yeah.
Cleopatra and what?
Ocean and Cleopatra. And hey, like, kudos to them for going in the rain because it wasn't just like a little bit of rain. It was a lot of rain.
It was steady.
It was raining a lot. And it was cold. So
they had the worst weather of anybody.
They totally did. And everybody keeps talking about how great the weather was the whole way through for every parade.
No, just Errol aboard.
Well, from Errol's point of view, as long as Rex gets through okay, it's fine.
Yep. He was a great Rex.
Aren't they all? But yeah, Ocean and Cleopatra were really good parades. They would have been really great parades. I thought that just watching what Cleopatra had, if it hadn't been raining, they would have been kind of a kick-ass parade for the first Friday night. They threw like a lot of light up stuff, and their floats looked pretty good from what I can remember. But they also had like some of the things that you don't expect to see in those first parades. Like they had like the stilt walkers and like some other little groups. I think they may have even had Elvi. Somebody had Elvi like the first night or the second day, which
was a Muses standard. The Elvi
a long time ago it was.
Muses needs to pay to have like what's it called? Exclusivity rights.
I don't know. They're getting big now because I saw more Elvi this year than I've seen, I think, ever. I think they've been in more parades this year than they were previously. But
they're looking a little grumpier than normal,
because it's just getting to them
having
to go.
Yeah, like everyone wants to be one now. I guess I don't know. There were some grumpy men in Mardi Gras. We'll talk about it.
Okay. But anyway, that was Friday night. It was cool to be out there looking at it. I think that was right before the NBA All-Star game. And O'Shawn was throwing.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they were here.
O'Shawn was throwing NBA licensed items. They had like All-Star medallions on them and stuff.
Okay.
But it was fun. There were like 5 of us out there watching.
Cleopatra is a former West Bank all-women's parade.
Exactly.
So there's 3 all-ladies parade, and they're the least regarded one if they want to compete with Knicks and Muses.
Iris is also all women.
Oh, it is? That's on Saturday?
Yeah.
The Uptown Parade's on Saturday. I just have zero knowledge about. I didn't even know they did it. They shouldn't really do. Well, we'll talk about that later. I did not know that there was a 4th one. But okay, so of the 4, Cleopatra is still the littlest sister.
I mean, so there's all these parades that came over from the West Bank, right? So there's Cleopatra,
Alla,
and
Choctaw.
Algiers, Louisiana.
yeah, and
Choctaw, the racist one.
The racist one?
The
There's only one?
The most racist one.
The most racist sounding one, or the most racist one by members?
They all wear red face. I mean, I think it's pretty fucking racist.
I thought the ones that just ceased becoming that Comus and them are the most that's a bold statement to say which Mardi Gras crew is the most racist.
Well, they're the most racist parade.
The most racist aesthetically looking one.
We'll have to examine that, but I don't know. That's a big line right there.
Okay, I may have written a check I can't cash.
But
they're pretty.
It's worth pointing out that they do ride in red face, and it is.
Well, Zulu rides in blackface.
It's not like
what the fuck, man.
Yeah, but
Zulu,
isn't that racist?
Well, yeah, you're laughing because but there is a big difference, and the difference is
I know that's the joke that it's a big difference,
right?
But Mr. Serious over there, that chick who runs Tales of the Cocktail found out the difference. Anyway, so go ahead. We'll talk about that when we get to.
We have no discipline when it comes to staying in chronological order.
Okay, well, there was something we didn't finish.
Unless Jeff has Saturday day parade observations.
Well, okay, so one of the things I do is, because I'm always out there watching them, I watch the parades really closely, and I end up putting them in,
and you have a history of seeing them over the years, so you're not coming from nowhere with this shit.
No, I'm not. And I just want to say, it's all fun, right? It's all fun to go out and watch a parade. The shittiest parade can come down the street, and it's still a Mardi Gras parade, and everybody's out there drinking in the street and having a good time. So it's not like you're saying shit about a parade to say that the parade is shitty, even though the parade is shitty sometimes.
I think empty floats is pretty fucking shitty. And did they have those this year?
I don't think Freret had an empty float, but they still had you just get a point where it's like they didn't. It's like if they did the Mamaroo ethic without the funny costume, without the great costumes. They show up at the last day and just throw shit together and get on the float and go.
Did they have the Alien Queen float in their parade?
No, but here's what they did. Here's Freret this year. They basically were the Krewe of Boo floats.
Yeah, the Alien Queen is in the Krewe of Boo.
Right.
When I see the Alien Queen, I'm like, this parade sucks.
And their theme was based on the fact that it's their 4th parade. So they didn't really have a theme. They just said, hey, it's Freret 4.
The very significant number of 4.
Well, that's last year Nick's theme was Nick's turns 5.
Right.
So
that's exactly right.
5.
And
that's
we will
a significant number. 1, 5, 10, 15, even 13 or 7. 4.
But 4.
Who gives a fuck?
Right. And here's what they did with 4. So all the floats were puns of the word 4. There was for example, there was May the 4th be with you was the title of a float. Do you know what the float was?
Star Wars?
Dracula.
Sure.
It was who knows?
Could have been Dracula, could have been Palpatine. Don't know. They didn't drape a black blanket over him and call him Palpatine?
No, it was just Dracula.
Could have done that. If I was in that crew, I'd have thrown some found object art on that motherfucker.
Right. So, but anyway, that's what Freret does. They don't.
Wars reference.
Freret just doesn't care. Right. So that's
Well, they're broke, aren't they? If they have empty parade floats, it must mean that they.
That's got to be what it is. But I would, to contrast that with, this is their 4th year. Another parade that's in its 3rd or 4th year this year. I think they're 4th year now, maybe 3rd. Is Femme Fatale, which is the same weekend, which is Sunday morning.
Is that all ladies also?
It's all ladies.
Oh, Jesus! Now there's 5 of them.
But
Yeah, we're taking over.
Oh shit!
But the contrast between these 2 day parades in the first weekend is like night and day. And they're the same age, but like Femme Fatale has it going on. Like they put on a really well thought out parade, like one of those children's themes. It's got I think it was games this year, so there's like lots of board games. Candyland, stuff like that.
Chutes and ladders.
There was a Candyland.
Cards Against Humanity. Not that.
Balderdash. Taboo.
Right.
Naked Twister.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jeff. I can hear you just waiting.
I was waiting for you to finish. I had no idea.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to let y'all know. I decided I was going to get fucked up during this podcast tonight. About 3 hours ago, I was like, I'm going to get wasted during the podcast. And also, Alli forgot her mic, so she has to share it with me. So just y'all prepare as we.
Prepare now.
As I pretend to get
because they may not have been prepared before. What were we on this? Oh, so I was answering a question about Freret, and I was explaining why Freret is bad, and then I was saying that Femme Fatale is the same age as Freret, and they put on a good parade, whereas Freret just doesn't seem to give a shit. Those were the 2 things. The 2 points.
Why do you think that is? Not that Femme Fatale is kicking ass, but why do you think Freret sucks so much?
It's probably what you said. It's probably they don't have as much money. That would be my guess. They both like here. So Freret, they are this. They're always soliciting for membership. Like it's one of those things where like, hey, do you want to be in a Mardi Gras parade? And I think it was organized by like some young people and maybe people who aren't really from here who wanted to have their own parade a couple years back.
Yeah, that's called Chewbacchus.
No, yeah, but this is Freret, right? So
it's like uptown people who haven't realized that the people who aren't really from here who want to have their own parade live in the bywater.
Right, maybe so.
It's just a contingent of lost transplants.
Maybe so.
Who somehow found their way uptown
the key,
and can't seem to escape.
The key difference between them and Femme Fatale is that Freret has one political connection. They have Jason Williams, who's in the parade every year. Whereas Femme Fatale...
Councilman Jason Williams?
Yes, he's in the parade. He was dressed as a stormtrooper.
Not either one of the 2 NBA players, former NBA players, named Jason Williams.
Jason Williams was dressed as a stormtrooper this year. He's always on some float. He's usually... He's some dignitary.
Well, you think he could help him out? Shit, if you're a broke-ass parade that has a city council member in it, you're really fucking up. Because that guy can find all kinds of ways to get money off from parking lots, from granite companies and shit like that. That guy should be able to help him out.
Well, that was my point about Femme Fatale. See, they have all the political people. They have Karen Carter Peterson. She was their Grand Marshal last year. This year they had Sybil Morial in the parade.
Nice.
They have lots of people who are kind of connected or like got lots of like those kinds of family connections. And I think that's where they get all their pull. And I definitely think that's how come they're able to get all the bands. The funny thing about that is, used to be on Sunday, Carrollton had all the high school bands. And when Femme Fatale goes in the morning that they roll, Femme Fatale takes Carrollton's bands, and it kind of makes Carrollton a worse parade than it used to be.
Man, this motherfucker has got some nuanced understanding of these parades, man. So,
did you think he wouldn't?
It's just always good to see it in action, you know. Mm-hmm. I know Moonlight Sonata is beautiful, but you really got to hear it, you know.
This podcast is the Moonlight Sonata of Mardi Gras.
And then right now, he's going to edit in. Dun, dun. Maybe you can find like Preservation Hall doing Moonlight Sonata or something. That'd be cool.
If I think of anything else from the first weekend that we're still in, we'll get to that. But because you keep wanting to talk about Chewbacca.
Yeah, well, we need to get to it.
All right, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, go for it.
Huh? Oh, well, the one thing I got to say about Chewbacchus is that parade kind of sucks unless you're in it. If you're in it, it's fucking great. If you're watching it, it's just like basically being on any corner on Mardi Gras Day. Like people just like kind of walk by with these like floats that they've all built themselves. They're not built by Blaine Kerr and everything. And yeah, there's a nice little quality about it. But basically, it's just a bunch of like 20 to 40-year-olds walking by you in costumes they've made, drunk, and on their phones. And I did see somebody just walking, eating a sandwich. So it's like basically like a little Fat Tuesday, except in a parade.
Couldn't disagree more.
Well, you go ahead and extol the virtues of Chewbacca, because I'm telling you, it's not a great fucking parade. Anybody who wants to can pay $39 or $42 and get into it. That's all you got to do.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it's not okay. You can pay $42, put a Speedo on, and walk down the street, and that's gonna make a good parade.
Well, what are you objecting to? The fact that anybody can be in it, or that it's just not a well-organized
parade? It looks
parade?
terrible. You got about fucking like 80 people in a crew walking down the street in Halloween costumes, basically.
Yeah, I can
not
see
a lot
that.
of throws, and even the ones they got, they're not that great anyways. Everybody's a little too fucked up and on ecstasy or edibles or whatever. I speak from experience on that. But if you're in it, it's the greatest experience of your life.
So I guess my question about that is that there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of value in watching it from the audience's point of view, because there isn't. You don't feel like they're putting
compared
it on
to all
for
the
you.
rest of the parades.
There's no interaction.
It's just you're just looking at basically you get so much more of an experience. You're just basically looking at Fat Tuesday walking down the street, except probably not as good. It's like just a couple people like walking down the street. They're just dressed up with some shit that they made.
So the event is what, in most circumstances, is happening before the parade, and also what
it's fun
happens
for the people
around
in the crew of Chewbacca's.
I got
It's
you.
basically their big party to throw for themselves.
Okay.
And then
But that's all Mardi Gras is a big party we throw for ourselves.
But it's
Like that's
fun
the whole fucking point.
yeah, for the entire city, but this is the big party that the crew of Chewbacca's just throws for themselves.
I don't see anything wrong with that, but I also enjoyed it as a spectator.
Okay, so tell us what that's like.
I thought it was great. Last year, the parade took like way too long to get to us, and it broke up a couple times. There were these huge gaps.
That doesn't sound good.
But this year, it was much better. And we watched, I think, them streamlining their route really
I noticed
helped.
they changed their route, yeah.
And I like it because it is homemade, and so it is like it's almost like a more democratic homemade parade, and I love that about it. I got some good throws. I thought the costumes were really good. I also love that this parade involves a lot of like people bringing their kids. It involved like there are more disabled people in this parade than any other ones because people like incorporate their wheelchairs and stuff in as costumes. I think that's awesome. And not everyone's costumes or floats are the same level of detail, but the ones that are amazing are fucking amazing. Like Pitts and them with the octopus, they rolled in Chewbacchus. The Lagerettes, they're always great. Some other folks we know do the rolling Elliots, like from E.T., and they were awesome. Like I feel like there's so much creativity, and just the more outlets for that, the better, especially when it's all like science fiction based. I thought I love Chewbacca's. I thought it was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think bringing more handmade, like I don't want any more beads in my life. Like I'm done with beads. Like every throw that I got from them was like a handmade thing or like something that was like small and beautiful. And the fact that like the older I get, the more I go to just like see the spectacle and not to like get stuff. I feel like Chewbacca's is the perfect example of that. Like, I just want to see this creativity that people bring. And I don't feel the need to compare it to Mardi Gras Day because Mardi Gras Day is its own beautiful, special thing. And that's like, obviously it should be the pinnacle of everyone's season is Tuesday. But like, Chewbacca's is a great way to kick off first weekend for me. I loved it.
I don't know. And not everyone seemed like they were really having a good time or that they were into it. And, it seemed like there was a lot of people walking, and there were some people who were like attending whose whose costumes were better than the people who were actually in it, and it didn't have a lot of bands.
It sounds like, and let me ask you
Could
this.
use more music. For
Let
sure.
me ask you this question: how does it compare with Krewe Du Vieux as a production? Like, meaning, like if you're standing there watching Krewe Du Vieux, like there's a parade. I mean, you know the format, and you can see the brass band, and you can see, okay, here comes this group's float, and then here come their marchers, and there's a little interaction there. Where does Chewbacchus follow? Is it as tight, or is it a little bit different?
It's it's looser.
Okay,
it's looser than that for sure. Because I think the format of the production part depends on who signs up to do it every year, right?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that much about the inner workings of Chewbacchus, but I think that you mentioned the audience dressing up and sometimes like better. Again, I don't think that's like a bad thing. Like it attracts an audience that's really into it, and it's a little bit more unpredictable. And I think that's fitting especially for a downtown parade that's like still getting its legs, you know? Like I think it's got a different atmosphere and a different vibe, and it like draws some attention. You know, it helps bring Carnival to a different part of town, and I think that's all good stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point because for a couple of reasons. One, I do like the idea of having a widely varied carnival, and we know that it is. I mean, every day is different, every event is different, and there are parades that are great for children, there are parades that are great for adults, there are parades that are great for different reasons. There are great day parades as opposed to great night parades. But one of the things that you said was it's great to bring it to a different part of town.
Yeah.
And Saturday night, I still haven't seen Chewbacca since it left Uptown. We saw it before it left the area up here, but that was before it was Chewbacchus as it exists today. But what it does that in the Bywater is it pulls a lot of the crowd who would otherwise be jammed in the Uptown route on Saturday night away, and it makes that first Saturday night of what are some pretty nice parades uptown a lot more manageable and a lot more chill. I suspect that a lot of the tourists and the visitors in the Airbnbs are all like rushing down to see Chewbacca because they've been told that that's the cool thing to go see too.
I don't know who told them that.
But the experience uptown on Saturday night is really nice. Sparta and Pygmalion are nice parades. They're not like second weekend night parades, but they are trying to be like Sparta is an old parade, and it has a little like some of those like they get. I think it's the first time you see Flambeau all year, and it has some of the older elements in it. And then Pygmalion is a younger parade, but they're trying to be more of a super crew in their own right. Like they have a couple of like signature floats that they've developed, and they have like some that have LEDs and things on them, and they're getting bigger, and they're trying to grow into that Saturday night slot. And it's not a bad night to be uptown because it's very manageable, and it's a lot of fun. So we don't go to Chewbacca's not because I have anything against Chewbacca's, but because we're here and we're not. I don't want to go all the way across town.
No, you don't
want
to cross town if you don't have to.
So
you could go to any old Comic-Con and just see the shit they have at Chewbacca. So.
Well, that's kind of the.
Just go to Pensacon. It's kind of the same shit.
Having not seen it, like I kind of feel like that.
The pop culture theme also kind of makes it a little bit lamer, I guess.
There's kind of a mech Mardi Gras feeling to it, I guess. There's
a plethora of Stormtrooper masks that you can get, that you can order on eBay or on Amazon or whatever, and then bam, you got your little costume.
Yeah, I've heard that criticism of it.
You don't have to make it at all. You just get that and you walk with it and paint it pink or something to make it a little different, and then boo, that sort of makes it. I mean, this year I saw it at the very end of the route, so maybe they were a little bit out of energy, They didn't drink enough Red Bull or take enough Adderall, to get them down to the end of the route, and they were maybe running out of gas a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you weren't impressed, and I
had it was one of the funnest nights of my life the year before when I was in it.
Right.
So,
but that was the drugs, right?
I guess if you could call pot a drug. Is that a drug? But I don't always have fun every time I take a pot brownie. I can tell you some stories about some severe paranoia. Thinking about the heat death of the universe on those things. Last Mardi Gras day, I had a weird experience taking a pot brownie. So Not this one though. Stayed away from that shit.
Well, let's come back to that.
After that, there was the Mystic Krewe of Barkus or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And I was out there for that.
There's something else I don't go see.
I was looking at the dogs for the first time, and I was like, these dogs hate this shit. They are miserable. They're scared. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be dressed up. They don't know what's going on. It is a kind of a weird parade.
I've never been to it, only in part because I could never, ever in a million years take my dog to it. You know this. He would be a miserable shit out there. You just wouldn't be able to handle it. So I've never gone.
I think people who have dogs like Ari just go ahead and bring that dog anyways. And they get terrified, and it's kind of hot, and there's probably not enough water. And again, it's probably it wants to be more than it is. Any parade that is a derivative of Bacchus, I think. I'm going to go ahead and try and put forth a Lance Vargas rule here. If you're trying to rip off Bacchus, you might suck.
Bacchus, Barkus, Chewbacchus.
Yeah.
There's a declension there.
Yeah, there's Bacchus and then just a shit ton of space and then the other two.
Okay.
Of which I would put Barkus at the very bottom.
Okay.
And there's now a cat parade, which is bullshit. Tell us what the cat parade
there
would
actually
be called.
there has been at times
Cat Demian?
Yeah, well, it was called Endymion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was a cat parade?
Well, it's not. I mean, you can't.
It's called Endymion.
You can't put cats on parade, really.
No.
But there's an event. I think it's one of the vets uptown has a little party where people can dress up their cats.
Jesus
Yes,
Christ, that's fucking rich.
this
man.
exists or existed. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I know all great ideas are gone. I know. Endymion.
Let's see.
And
And then, so...
cats got ran over at Endymion this year.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I hear Endymions happening outside my house at night sometimes. It's like...
Down in New Orleans where the blues was born, it takes a cool cat to blow a horn. On LaSalle and Rampart Street, the combos play with the mambo beat.
So let's see real quick before we finish up this first
Peacockus?
weekend. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was that
wait, did anything else happen? My Mardi Gras football team that first weekend was really bad off. I wasn't making any money on Jackson Square. I didn't have fun at Chewbacchus. I didn't have fun at Barkus. My tummy was a little upset, and they say that's your second brain, Yeah. So I think that was affecting my serotonin levels. And at one point, my Mardi Gras football team was like 2 games under 500.
I didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, but
then Wednesday.
things changed. Yep. Wednesday happened.
Well, I think that we should. First of all, you probably need to check your laundry.
Has it been?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I'm gonna go. Oh shit! It closes at 8. I'm going over there.
All right. So
I'm doing my laundry at the Black and Gold Wash and Fold across the street in Tim. You've heard lots about
Nobody
it.
cares. Go do your laundry.
If you follow fucking Jeff, you know all about the Black and Gold Wash and Fold. He talks about it all the time. I've experienced it firsthand.
So anyway, Lance is going to check his
They
laundry.
like knowing that we're real people. They like, knowing that we do things like that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Right.
It makes it authentic and not lame like some of the stupider podcasts like Chapo Trap House out there. We're real people.
You're
man.
just jealous because they're making $47,000 a month now.
You're goddamn right I am. Would they, if you made $47,000 a month, would you be doing your laundry at the Black and Gold Wash and Fold?
Maybe.
No.
So I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a break since you're going over there to do that? And then,
have to?
yeah,
Yeah, let's
I
take
think
a
we're going
break.
to take a break. And
Anything that you wanted to say without me interrupting you.
oh, well, there's a list. All right. Well, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're
Raise
back.
your hand if you want to speak into it.
We got the laundry folded.
We're gonna just hold it like this.
Got everything.
That's not really gonna work.
We're doing microphone
I think
sharing. Do we even,
I'm loud enough so that everybody can hear me.
Did we even discuss the fact that you guys are sharing a microphone again?
We did.
Okay.
We did, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad we got
It's
that
my
covered.
fault this time. I forgot my mic.
Okay.
All the mics should stay with the board.
Yeah, stop.
I don't see. I don't understand.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Varg.
Okay, Varg.
Okay, Varg. Okay.
Where
You had a comment on Sunday.
Oh, one before we move on, I have one comment on Sunday, and is this: there are too many parades on Sunday. There's too many of them. They started
That's the Barkus Day.
Yes, they start at 11 a.m. and Femme Fatale is a long parade, and Carrollton is a long parade, and whatever the hell comes after that, I'm too drunk to remember,
Alla,
but it's a
right?
long parade. Well, at the end of the day comes Alla,
Oh, okay.
and Alla is listed as a 2 p.m. parade that shows up in front of the house like around like 6:30 or so. And it's Sunday afternoon, and everybody is sunburnt and drunk and has to get up in the morning and go to work.
Yeah.
It sounds like almost like it's West Bank origins.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that description of the attendees sounds like basically how.
Oh, good. So it's authentic.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that's helpful, but
They're true to their school.
it's
loyal to their soil.
from the point of view of somebody who's been out there all day waiting for it, it ain't worth waiting on. It is.
Yeah, you find out it's West Bank. That is also true to its West Bank roots. I'm sorry. Isn't there an ISIS parade too?
Yo, the one called the Krewe of ISIS.
Yeah, is it a local parade?
It's not in Orleans though.
It's the Jefferson Parish.
I think so.
Because ISIS and Allah are the most hilarious parades to me. Like everyone's like, oh, okay. I know it says Allah, but it's not Allah. It's got to make people.
Well, now
It's got to make them nervous.
Now I want to go just so I can yell Allahu Akbar at them and really piss them off.
Yeah, just watch everybody.
I'll make a sign in Arabic that says Allahu Akbar and like hold it up at them.
and just watch them fucking scatter. And shit
Yeah.
as soon as you say it.
Allah itself is not even. It's ALLA for
Algiers, Louisiana,
right.
which at one point was its own city,
So
which is where it originated, and then Gretna kind of appropriated it. It basically moved to Gretna, and it would end like right before it got to Orleans Parish.
right,
When
because
it
they
was
wouldn't
on
even
the
go
West
into
Bank.
Orleans anymore.
Yeah, it would roll down right. It was a Gretna parade and would roll right down Franklin in Gretna, and there was a neutral ground there, and
Yeah, but it's one of these West Bank parades that don't go on the West Bank anymore, and they're all jammed into the St. Charles route. And this last slot on Sunday, is just too much. It's too much for everybody, and it's not a great parade to wait for at the end of the day. It's just kind of like it becomes an afterthought.
So fuck Allah. Fuck waiting for Allah.
Yeah, but do something about it. Like put them back on the West Bank,
I didn't
or
mean fuck Allah.
Yeah.
do something to spread out the calendar. Maybe roll something Monday or Tuesday night. Do something. But
I like the idea of sending them back to the West Bank.
yeah,
They
spread.
should move back.
They should spread these parades out all over town.
There had to have been a reason why they left in the first place. Although they were out of money or the.
Yeah, they left because their members weren't as psyched about rolling on the West Bank anymore compared to the enticing opportunity of rolling on the Uptown route, where all the crowds are.
They wanted to come see the
makes
Chads.
sense. Makes sense.
They all want to come see the Chads.
Oh, the Chads had it was their big coming out party this year.
Everybody,
Everybody
I think
remembers the Chads.
They've been out.
Yeah, but every year they get stronger.
Well, that's true.
This year they were in the amount of Chad shirt designs has got to be over 100. Every time I see a new design, I'm like, wow, that's a little white stripe with two big purple and green stripes with a thin gold stripe. Oh, those stripes go up and down. Oh, these stripes are swirly and going in this direction.
I think that last year and this year are really the years that Chad really seriously entered the local lexicon. It was a little thing on Twitter for a while, and then it was a bigger thing on Twitter, and I think now it's more people are aware of the term. And it's a thing now.
It's any lame person, and maybe we can be the first to pin definition down. It's any lame person at Mardi Gras, but in particular, a lame person wearing a pearless shirt.
Oh, I don't think it's as much about the shirt as it is about the space saving. I associate the Chads with like just boorish, space saving, inhospitable, maybe like too drunk kind of behavior. I associate them more with behavior than the pearless stuff.
Yeah, like destructive kind of behavior that doesn't belong in a context of like people being joyous together. You know,
no feeling of love.
Right.
Yeah.
Clearly there to show out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that begins with the space saving thing, because you get people who are super territorial or about their little portion of the neutral ground they've carved out, and then they get into fights with people. Whereas, to be honest with you, it's not that big a deal. I mean, if you don't let it be a big deal, like many things in life, if you don't let it become a fight, it's not going to be a fight. If you're at any parade, even though a bunch of Chads have shown up and claimed the first row of ladders or whatever, by the end of the parade, they're relaxed and you can move. It doesn't stay solid.
No.
And if you are aware that it's not going to stay static and solid the whole way, you can still have a good time. Like, there's just no reason to
It'd be a lot easier for everyone if it wasn't even there at all, though. If they would leave paths like they're supposed to on the little cross throughs, which that doesn't happen.
And
either.
the key is that
sometimes you just have to walk a block or two just to get across.
Yeah,
if you don't want to walk through people's shit.
If you're trying to get somewhere, it's a real pain in the ass. And that people just need to be like understanding of the fact that they're in a public space with other people who came to do this thing that they did.
Yeah, well, people are always so good at just needing to understand. There's a long history in this universe of people just needing to understand and then going ahead and doing it. No, people ain't gonna just need to understand. Chads need motherfuckers to enforce laws on them.
It was kind of gratifying to see them actually go to the Orleans Avenue neutral ground and like knock that shit down for once this year. Finally, there have been times in the past when they've done that, and it does tamp things down a little bit. I think that
hell yeah.
My experience of this was that it wasn't an overly Chadish Mardi Gras. Like I think people.
I thought the Chads were fucking everywhere.
People are more aware of them, but I just don't think that I don't think they ruined any parades for me this year. Like there wasn't like a thing where, oh, there's too many Chads here.
Well,
like,
you're in a weird pocket of very few Chads.
I am,
which is nice.
I do get to see the actual Krewe of Chad parade every year.
There's an actual. Oh, you mean where everyone starts leaving the uptown route and going to Mid City?
Yeah, there's a point.
They don't walk there, huh? Or they walk to Canal.
They walk downtown. There's a point like midway through like Iris and Tux where they're starting to peel off and walk and march together in mass down the opposite side of St. Charles so they can go downtown and watch Endymion. And like they're huge. You can just see them migrating. Some migrating Chads. And
I want to hear the David Attenborough narration.
Yes, definitely.
Of the migratory Chads.
Wait, so I pointed this out on.
Yeah, I can hear the soundtrack right.
I got something like this on Twitter this year. I pointed out that they were moving, and the parody account. I don't know who's running it, but there's a Krewe of Chad parody account. Like tweets back at me and says, "Yeah, you can see where they've been by the trail of red Solo cups and crushed Red Bull cans." And sure as shit, that's exactly what was there. Like I walked out the street, and it's true. So yeah, good observation. You know,
they were definitely. Everybody seemed to be a little bit more aware of. It's not like they were any worse, but people were talking about them. A lot more.
Yeah. Alli's friend Sherm's actually dressed up as a grayscale Chad. Mm-hmm. This year for Mardi Gras. She had a costume with it was like black and white pearless shirt.
Yeah,
and she did her face all black and white,
and she had like gray body paint on, and yeah, it was all
Chad's.
It was like a Courtney.
She was a Courtney
in Pleasantville.
Exactly.
Before they started to become enlightened.
Exactly.
And stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm glad more people are aware of them. It's not stopping them or anything like that, and yeah, people do kind of mellow out about space, but everybody has their Chad story. Everybody has somebody who got all. I mean, in the end, it goes back to the same narrative that I've been having with anybody who will confront me about it. It's like anybody who tries to occupy public space, I always have to it brings out this reptile brain in me where I always have to yell at them about it. I'm like, no, you can't do it. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it's the last fucking thing we got that's all ours. It's space. The street. We all pay our taxes. It's the street. It's our thing. You can't take it from us. I don't give a fuck who you are. This is mine.
It gets to the essence of what this is all about, right? It's about everybody's celebration that they're doing together, right? And it's like...
But some people don't want to...
I mean...
The Chads don't.
Yeah. I mean, other people is hell, but like other people is part of Mardi Gras. And you have to be able to go out and just tolerate being in a crowd full of... It's the whole city together. And some of it sucks, and you have to be in it. And there's certain people who are not able to be among other people. And that's Chads. That's people who aren't having a good time.
But why are all the Chads the same?
What do you mean? Why are they? Why
do they all look the same? Why do they uniform up the way they do and stuff like that? Because they identify other people who can't be in crowds. I've been in with people who aren't into Mardi Gras, but they don't act like Chads. That's not the only characteristic of them. Like, just not being into Mardi Gras is not just what a Chad is. Okay. A Chad is not fitting into Mardi Gras because you're kind of an entitled prick.
It's doing it in an entitled way and doing it wrong or something like that. Yeah, all right. There's a lot to consider.
You just can't cut loose.
Some people aren't into Mardi Gras because they don't enjoy crowds, and that's fine. But like I think the defining characteristic of Chad's and Courtney's is the selfishness of it. Like they want it all for themselves. They want to have their own selfish experience of this parade, and they don't want anyone else to interfere with their experience of it. Whether that's their neighbor or a kid or like whatever, they want to control their experience to the point that they are just like they will selfishly control everything involving that parade and their crew.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's the same instinct I think that drives a lot of like our political climate too, is just this very insular selfishness and the need to like be very territorial. It precipitates that territorial nature, which translates into like borders and border protection and all this stuff. Like it comes from that same reptile part for other people that need to find their own space and to keep it.
And they want to experience it. They want to be part of it. Mm-hmm. But what's just the lame part about it is that everybody else wants to be a part of it too. And it's just like, oh, I want to kick it with me and my people, but fuck, all these other people are here too. Why do we have to hold this in the middle of the street? Why can't we have it somewhere where we can pay to get in? And
why can't the parade just be me?
Yeah.
And just me enjoying myself.
It's like the same people who think that if other people succeed and have fun, that it somehow diminishes the fun that they have.
Zero sum game. Of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I think you're onto it. I'm looking at day parades, uptown day parades.
Cut that, edit that out.